line, she appears to be flipping the bird in this video. Now, we did blur that out for you. So what can we read into the defendant's body language? We're going to bring in some guests to discuss this morning. Attorneys Matthew Timpanek and Mario Gallucci. And joining us now is jury consultant and body language expert Susan Constantine. Thank you so much for all sticking around. And Susan, welcome to you. Welcome to the program. Susan, nice to see you. I see you sometimes in court, so it's nice to see you here this morning. All right, Susan, what can we make of Karen's reaction? First off, let's talk about that photo that was put up. Again, this was a dead body that was put up. It was exhibited inside that courtroom, not John O'Keefe, someone else, used as a demonstration. What can you tell us about this body language?
Well, what we have to look at here is that she is sending nonverbal signals. These are all internal processing. What she thinks, what she feels is being exhibited through her nonverbals. I believe that this is intentional. She is wanting to communicate to that jury what she's thinking and feeling. And when she is whispering over, it is sending the signal of that she has a disagreement or that she's not approving of it. And so there seems to be this kind of camaraderie between them with the smirking, the smiling. So there's all these nonverbal secrets they're sending through nonverbals back and forth.
All right, Susan, talk about the winking. What do you make of that?
Well, the winking is one of the says, yeah, we got this, but it's followed by a smile. So there's two of them, right? So when she winks, it's like, yeah, we got this. We understand, no problem. And then she smiles. So when she smiles, that's a sense of enjoyment. She's excited about it. She's gleeful about it. So when you're seeing this from the jury's perspective, it can send mixed signals. So one juror may look at that going, well, good for her. She's standing up for what she believes. Another one could say, you know what, this ties right into her attitude that she thinks that she's above it. Could show narcissism. So it has a dual message, and it really depends on the person who's actually seeing it and how they are decoding it. But that is what the message is. It's like, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, it does look like that. Matthew and Mario, I want to bring you in. You know, one of the things that I noticed, and I know we're talking about Karen Reed here, but sitting inside the courtroom for the Sean Diddy Combs case. So when Sean Combs, when his defense counsel is standing there, when they're about ready to wrap up, they look at Sean, and then I noticed that Sean will kind of nod, give the head nod to let them know that you're good. We don't need any further questions here. At least that's how I'm reading into that. When you see Karen Reed make that wink like that, is that kind of these signs of, okay, yeah, we're good, like Susan was talking about?
I definitely think so.
I think her reactions are her reactions. I think that they, like Susan just said, they're subject to interpretation. You know, some people are going to say that she is being flippant or she's being rude, and other people are going to say she's being very confident. And as a defense attorney, I would probably stop her, and I like what they do with Sean, with the P. Diddy. With P. Diddy, you know, it's like, all right, we're good. It's not winking, and as she's sitting there, affirming, oh, we got this, we have this. And if you have a juror that sits there and says, you know, there's a dead man here, and you're responsible maybe for his death, maybe you should take it a little more seriously. There could be other jurors up there saying the opposite.
Matthew, what's your take on this?
What is definitely interesting about when you're talking about Diddy's case, after you're doing a direct cross-examination, it's very common for the counsel to look back if they have a co-counsel to see whether they have questions. I would do that often in trial. It's like, all right, do we have any more? It'd be a head nod if we do, or head shake if we do not. And it's definitely uncommon to see the defendant, like, essentially being a part of the defense team. The defendant is the one on trial. They're the one paying the money. But remember, the attorneys are they are in charge of trial strategy. It definitely feels in this case, considering the defendant oftentimes kind of passes notes and asks these questions, that who's actually really in charge of this cross-examination at this time, and who's in charge of trial strategy? It's definitely a little puzzling.
All right, let's watch Karen react to Judson Welcher testify about, something we're talking about John O'Keefe here. Let's watch Karen's reaction to this testimony, and I'll get your take on the other side.
Dr. Welcher, in terms of the analyses that you have reviewed in this case, is there one time that you understand there to be for a hypothesis for the time of the impact at 34 Fairview?
Objection.
Okay, she looks a little mad there. Susan, I'll bring you in first.
So what we're looking at is her facial expressions really are not showing in a lot of emotion. But what we're seeing in her facial expressions is tension. So when you see the muscles kind of constrict and you see them tighten up a little bit, this is concealed anger. So when she's frustrated or angry, that she becomes very still and there's tension in her body. So that's what I look at. It's really under the body category of the channels, and it falls underneath what we call how we illustrate our facial expressions through our face, showing anger through this tension in our muscles.
Mario, what are your thoughts?
I agree with Matthew. I think that, the defense attorneys are allowing her to be too expressive, that, although she paid for us, we're in charge of her life, and we're the quarterback here. And if I were her attorneys, I would slow her down, because there's going to be jurors up there that are not going to think, that she's being confident. They're going to think that she's being rude, she's being flippant, and she's being inappropriate. She has to take a more demure opinion here.
Let's go to another clip. This is something that went viral. So this was this moment in court a couple weeks ago. Karen appears to flip the bird. I mean, maybe it was just the way her hands were, but let's go ahead and show that. So you can see it there. We've blurred it out. Susan, I'll bring you in right away. I mean, was this intentional?
This is 100% intentional. This is what we call an emblem. An emblem in the United States is one gesture with one meaning and one word. Actually, with this one, it's two words, okay? So this is intentional. You'll see her eyes fixated. She's looking directly at him. Eyes are frozen, eyebrows are up, and she's giving the flipping the bird gesture. This is by far the most vulgar gesture anybody could give another human being when it comes to hand gestures. It's the same thing in Italian as if you were go like this. It's the same thing. It has a meaning, and everybody knows what that meaning is. So when she doesn't like something, she disagrees, and she hates that person, she is going to send this nonverbal cue and speak a cuss word at him nonverbally.
Yeah, wow. Oof. Good analysis, Susan. I really appreciate having you on this morning and hearing everything you have to say. I know we're saying goodbye to you. Till next time, I see you inside one of the courtrooms across America. Thanks again for being with us, Susan. And I know Matthew and Mario, you guys are going to stick around, so don't leave me yet. Still to come on Opening Statements.